Hi guys. How is everyone doing? Welcome. This is the first time I'm streaming on a Thursday. Malika, good to see you as usual. Thank you guys for shifting the Wednesday to the Thursday. Sorry about that. I cancelled it like kind of last minute. If you saw my story, you would have seen that there's an announcement that we're going to make. I'll wait a bit to make that announcement, but that's the reason why we didn't have a live yesterday. We were basically getting the announcement ready. Ashton, hi, good to see you again as usual. So most of you know the drill. We're going to go through a topic. Today's biology, and at the end of it we're going to do a quiz, and that's going to be your chance to win a prize. I've got a feeling there's going to be fewer people today because I've changed the date, so you probably will get an increased chance of winning a prize here. So remember, it's £5 for whoever's second place in the quiz and £25 for whoever's first place. We're going to go through today photosynthesis and respiration. It is one of the easier topics. What do you guys think? Is it an easy topic? Is it okay? Phil, good to see you. Raghav, good to see you. Gemma, good to see you as well. Hope everyone's doing all good. So remember, to get the prizes for the quiz, you need to be here, which 15 of you are right now. You need to be participating in the chat. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions. You need to try and answer. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. Remember, we're all here to learn. And take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot of you participating. And then when we do the quiz, take a screenshot of your Kahoot character. Phil says photosynthesis is great. Yes, it is great. You know why? Because that is one of the topics that could come up in paper 1 or paper 2. That's why it's such an important topic. Let me show you guys the Kahoot screen real quick so you can sign in to that. So go to Kahoot, just Google it or go to the app. And the code is 251. Let me get a thicker pen. 2518066. Debashri, good to see you. No worries, you're on a different account again. Ashton says easy topic. You'll log into yours later. Do you guys use 2 different devices to do the Kahoot? I'm interested to hear how you guys do these. Or do you just do it on the same device? Or do you just like get off the stream and then do the quiz? Hi, Suhana. Good to see you. What is the announcement? Ask Phil. All will be revealed just before the quiz. So I'm going to go through this topic and I'm going to tell you guys what the announcement is just before that. And those of you who are on the live at the point of the announcement will benefit a little bit. So it is in your best interest to stay behind for that. Wow. Okay. So we got 21 in the chat. We've got 9 in the Kahoot. I'll give you guys another chance to sign in again. Let's do some revision. Let's see what people are saying. Debashri says my tablet and phone. So you got 2 different devices. That's probably smart because you can tap those buttons really quickly, right? Second screen on your computer. Dennis, good evening. Last time you won, right? You got the first place prize. Congratulations on that. Let's see if you can do it again. So this topic, like I said, can come up in paper 1 or paper 2. It's the bioenergetics topics. If there's one topic you need to know the most, it's probably these 2. So let's go through photosynthesis first of all. Photosynthesis happens in what type of organisms? Let me know in the chat what type of organisms does photosynthesis happen in. For those of you who are new, we're using our website. We're using flashrevisionlab.com. It's got notes, it's got exam questions, it's got spec points, and it's got flashcards for every topic that you need to know for GCSE Science. So here you can see the notes. These are handmade by me, including the diagrams. It took a very long time for me to do. We've got exam questions, which have been split up into topics. So look here, you'd only find questions on photosynthesis here, exam questions on that. You got quizzes. So if you want to test your knowledge a bit, you could try a few quizzes. The faster you answer those quizzes, the more XP you get. You got the spec point. So this is literally what the exam board asks you to know for your exams. This is literally what they're telling you to to revise. So I always tell my students, go through these spec points, tick them off one by one. If you know them, that's all good. If you don't know something, come back to it, go through the notes and revise it again. And if you want to test your knowledge again, you can use these flashcards, which have different questions. It's got a front and a back that you can flip over. You can see the question and you can answer it. Let's look at this one. Which two substances are used by plants in photosynthesis? Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think the answer is? I know I've asked you 2 questions in a row. Everyone said plants for the first one. Excellent. Plants is where photosynthesis occurs. What is the answer for this? How does this work? Says Candy. Just go onto flashrevisionlab.com. Literally make a free account and you have access to all of this. So Malika, Dennis, Gemma, all saying carbon dioxide and water. Carbon dioxide and water is correct. Exactly. So you would click on no there because you know that. You'll put that in a pile of all your known flashcards, and then it'll go to the next one. And then you keep going. If you don't know something, you go to still learning. It will put that in a separate pile and you can come back to it later and look at your decks of the ones that you know and you don't know. So definitely check it out, guys. Remember, it's free to see these notes and exam questions as well. We do have a paid tier as well, but I'll tell you about that in a bit. Let's do some learning here. So photosynthesis occurs in plants. It occurs when carbon dioxide and water is converted into food for plants. You don't say food in your exams, though. What is the food that plants have? It's glucose. Okay, so glucose is what plants use as food. So they're different to animals. Animals need to eat their food. They need to find another organism. They need to eat it, right? Plants are very unique because they can make their own food. They can make their own glucose. For this, they use energy from the sun. They have something, someone put this in the chat already. They have chloroplasts in their cells. If you look at cells of plants, you'll notice that they have chloroplasts. That's something that animal cells don't have. So something that's unique about chloroplasts is they contain something called chlorophyll, which absorbs sunlight. And it uses that energy to basically react the 2 reactants. So the ones that we just mentioned, the CO2 and the H2O. So the carbon dioxide and water. They react those together. What does it form, guys? I've told you one already. It's literally there, but it forms another product as well. When does the Kahoot start? It'll start in about 15, 20 minutes. This is going to be a quick one, guys, because it's just photosynthesis and respiration. They're quite short topics. I swear these were on Wednesdays. Yes, they were. I switched it, Roy Akbari, because we have an announcement to make, and I was preparing for that announcement. So I switched it to Thursday. Sorry about that. I know it's usually Wednesdays and Sundays. Here we go. Everyone's giving me the answers here. Glucose and oxygen. Perfect. Symbol for glucose. Does anyone know what that is? People always forget this. So oxygen, I hope everyone knows it's O2. What's glucose? What is the symbol for glucose? This you do need to memorize, unfortunately. You think the announcement is going to be this being on TikTok. That is not the announcement, but we are going to go onto TikTok soon. But that's not the announcement for today. No. There we go. Everyone's putting it down. C6H12O6. Okay, that's glucose. Memorize that. That means we need to balance this equation. To balance this, we need to put a 6 in front of everything apart from the glucose. Just memorize this. What happened there? It just disappeared. There we go. All right. So that's the equation. This is an endothermic reaction. Endothermic. What does endothermic mean, guys? What would you say endothermic means? Thank you, guys. You're all participating in the chat. Remember, take a screenshot of you participating in the chat. Because if you do win the quiz, then you get a prize. Some people said energy is released. Some people say it takes in energy. Some people say energy enters from the surrounding. It's not released. It's not given out. Endothermic. Here's how to remember the difference. Who knows my memory tricks? You guys know I'm all about memory tricks. How do you memorize that one takes in energy and the other one gives out energy? It's to do with the first two letters. En here. Ex here. En, exactly. Who said that? Ashton said that. En for enter. Energy enters in endothermic reaction. So it gets taken into whatever the reactants are. Here, it exits. It leaves the reactants. Okay, that's how to remember it. Now, hopefully you guys will never, ever forget that again. Okay, there we go. Loads of people have got it. Okay, so let's carry on going down here. Word equation here. Carbon dioxide plus water goes to glucose and oxygen. Okay, so we've gone through the first part of photosynthesis. The next part is how plants use glucose. I have another memory trick here as well, actually. How plants use glucose. What I like to use is scarf to remember that. Okay, so what do plants do with the glucose that they make from photosynthesis? There's 5 things that you need to know. Let me know in the chat if you know what these stand for. I just put it up there for like a split second. What's the S, C, A, R, and F stand for? We've got storage. S is not for storage. It's an example of storage. One of these is an example of storage. Okay, there we go. Dennis has gone straight in. This is why you won the quiz last time. Look at that. He knows his stuff. Starch, cellulose. So let me explain a bit. So the glucose can be converted into starch and stored. I'll put it up on the screen here. That is the second one. No, that is the bottom one on the screen right now. It's stored in the roots, stems, and leaves. Cellulose, if you guys know, it's part of a cell wall. So it's what protects the cell. That's made up. So the cell wall was made up of cellulose. Then we've got A, which is for amino acids. Amino acids make proteins, so it helps plants to grow. R is for respiration. Respiration. That is what we're going to do after. That's when glucose releases energy, transfers energy. Don't say makes energy. You'll lose a mark if you say it makes energy. And F is for fats. Fats or lipids. I've got it as lipids in the notes, but it's fats. It's another way of storing the glucose so that it can use it later. Okay, I know I'm going pretty fast here, but remember, if you're part of FRL classes, the main classes are much slower. We take everything in more detail. We have more memory tricks, and it's very a workbook in those classes. Again, go into our website and find out more about it. With a topic, you just mark it as complete. It will update at the top here. Green bar has just gone up. I don't think anyone saw that. But your overall percentage, so I've completed 30% of GCSE biology, overall percentage goes up as well. If it's a bit laggy, guys, I'm sorry. You know, the weather is really windy, so I think that's affecting my internet. It's blurry as well. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll try and explain things, and hopefully it'll settle down, because it does happen sometimes, and it'll settle down. So the next thing you need to know is about the rate of photosynthesis. So what affects how fast photosynthesis occurs? There's 3 things here. Are we doing combined or triple? Right now, we're doing combined. This is combined right now. So 3 factors that affect it: light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature. So some of these are limiting factors. I'll explain what that means in a second. I'm going to go through each of these factors. Yes, everyone's got it there. Newton's got it. Shadow's got it. Amazing. 33 people on the stream. That's pretty good. That's pretty high compared to what we usually get. Love to see that. So light intensity. As you increase light intensity, there's more energy for photosynthesis to happen. So the rate of photosynthesis increases. Can you guys see this graph? I know the stream, people are saying it's a bit blurry. Can you guys see this graph? So look at that. So the rate increases up to a certain point. It goes flat. So it increases and then it goes flat. The reason for that is because when it goes flat, it has a limiting factor. A limiting factor is something that stops photosynthesis going any faster. And that limiting factor here is either CO2 concentration or temperature. So remember those three factors. It was light intensity, CO2 concentration, and temperature. This is a graph for light intensity. The reason it flattens out is because the limiting factor is the other two factors, CO2 concentration or temperature. For carbon dioxide concentration is exactly the same graph. It increases and then it levels off like this. But this time, the reason it goes flat is because the limiting factor is light intensity or temperature. So the limiting factor is always one of the other two factors. Amount of chlorophyll, yes, it is. Technically, it is. You just don't need to know a graph for that. So the more chlorophyll you have, the faster the rate of photosynthesis. Temperature graph is the only one that's different. So light intensity, CO2 concentration, those graphs look exactly the same. It's what you see on the screen right now. It goes up and it levels off. Temperature graph looks a bit different. Look at this graph. It looks like a graph from another topic. Can anyone tell me what other topic we see this graph on? It's going up, it reaches a peak, and then it goes back down. It's very windy. Yeah, it is. I can hear the wind so loudly from where I am right now. It's ridiculous. I feel like this whole place is going to come down in a second. Enzymes. Yes, well done, guys. Those of you who figured that out. This is exactly the same graph as enzymes. Because the temperature, as temperature increases, the rate of photosynthesis gets faster up to the optimum temperature. So this point here, photosynthesis is the fastest. Okay. After that, there's a sudden drop. Reason for that is because the enzymes denature. When the enzymes denature, it means, if you guys remember, active site changes shape and substrate no longer fits into it. So that's another topic, but you do need to use that to explain this graph as well. Where you live, the wind has cut the internet cables. What? That's unlucky. That is unlucky. What topic is the Kahoot on, Candy? It's on this stuff, photosynthesis and respiration. We're going to do respiration in a second. So you can get questions on farming. This is all to do with the different factors that I was talking about. So light intensity, temperature, CO2 concentration, always think about those. So in greenhouses, you can basically, you can control those different factors as to maximize photosynthesis. All right, let's mark this one as complete because we're about halfway through the revision session. I do want to get onto the quiz. But like I said, guys, we go in our FRL classes, we do go much more thoroughly through these topics. There's a required practical here as well. This is the pondweed example. Let me quickly explain it here. So the pondweed is just a plant that grows in water. And what happens is when it photosynthesizes, remember it produces oxygen. Where's the equation? Look at that, oxygen. It produces 6O2. And that gets produced by bubbles, sorry. So what you can do is you can count the number of bubbles to see how fast the rate of photosynthesis is. So the more bubbles you have in like a minute, the faster the rate of photosynthesis. So you can move the light source closer and further away and see whether that's going to make the bubbles get produced faster or slower to see what effect this has. You did the pondweed today and you got no results. That is very common. You know why? Because it's so hard to count those bubbles. They're really small bubbles. So I'm not surprised that you didn't get any results. What you can do to make it more accurate is add a gas syringe, because that collects the gas and that tells you literally what volume of gas is being produced. So that's much more accurate than counting the bubbles. So it's like, it could be like an exam question that asks you to improve the accuracy of it. There we go. Gemma literally said the answer there. Bubble is inaccurate, so better to measure the volume of oxygen produced using a gas syringe. Exactly. But I think schools might not have gas syringes, so maybe that's why you guys do bubble counting. Okay, cool. Inverse square law. So basically, this is just a relationship between light intensity and distance. Basically, if you double the distance, so if you make that lamp twice as far, you basically sub this number in with the number that you're changing the distance by. So if you're making it twice as far, you're basically doubling it. So you make it times 2, but it's times 2 squared. That's the relationship. So the light intensity would be a quarter of what it was. All right, so that's what this section is all about. So look at this. We've got some examples here. So you can take a look at this properly after the session if you guys want. If you double the distance, so if the light is 5 centimeters away, but then you move it back to 10 centimeters and it was 16, we just call it arbitrary units, then what's going to happen is that 16 is going to quarter and you're going to get 4 arbitrary units. Right, let me see these comments. You leave it for 10 minutes so it can accumulate. Yes, you do need to leave it for a while. How can you improve the pond-weed experiment? Strawberry cheesecake. Just look up, someone's got, I think Gemma's put the correct answer up there. So that is a way that you can improve it. Another way you could improve it, instead of using a lamp that gets hot, you can use an LED. That's something I've seen in mark schemes before. Because that temperature could affect the photosynthesis, you could just use LEDs instead. All right, let's just mark this one as complete. We're done with photosynthesis. Let's move on to respiration. Before that, let me remind you guys of the Kahoot code. Here you go. Let's give you guys another chance to join this. Remember, we got an announcement after the respiration, just before the quiz. I'm going to make an announcement. I'll give you guys a chance to join this if you haven't already. We've got 26 in the chat. We've got 11, but it's increasing. More people joining. We've got Exciting Seahorse and Focus Dragon who just joined. Who's going to win the prize? Controlling your variables, exactly. I think you need to be a bit more specific. You can't just say that in an answer. Controlling your variables, you need to give examples of variables that you're going to control, Gemma. So it's things like temperature. Yeah, CO2 concentration. Wait, you don't get it. So is it horizontal or is the pondweed vertical? It's in a test tube. It's vertical because the bubbles are rising up. So you need to be able to count it. If it's horizontal, it'll be quite hard to count the bubbles. So you put it vertical. When are you doing triple? Well, this is a triple and a combined topic. So this is for everyone. We don't have any triple only ones planned right now. Suspense in the air because of the surprise announcement. I hope you guys aren't let down by the surprise announcement. I don't think you will. Those of you who come here regularly, who come on this live regularly, I don't think you will be. It's blurry. I can't see the code. The code is 2518066. Here, let me zoom into this. 2518066. Sorry about it's the wind. I'm going to blame the wind. That's why the stream's like this. Okay, let's carry on. Respiration. So aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So you can think of respiration as energy being released from glucose. Don't say energy is made. Okay, you either say energy is transferred or energy is released from glucose. There are 2 different types of respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. That's what we're going to go through. Why do we use respiration? There's three different things we use it for. First one is to keep us warm. Our body temperature is 37 degrees. We want to maintain that 37 degrees or 37.5 degrees for as long as we're alive. From the moment you're born to the moment you die, you have to be kept at 37 degrees roughly. If your temperature goes too low or too high, then it's going to cause a problem. The other one is contracting muscles for movement. You use that energy to move places. You need to contract muscles. The muscles have mitochondria, so a lot of aerobic respiration happens in the mitochondria. And the third thing here is building larger molecules from smaller ones. So if you've got a lot of amino acids in your body, you need to join the amino acids together to produce proteins. So yes, we have two different types. So aerobic respiration, you can kind of guess from the name, air. What do we have in the air? We have oxygen in the air. So this is respiration with oxygen. It is the best way for us to release energy. It's the most efficient way. We do it all the time, and it occurs in the mitochondria. The equation for it, very simple to learn. It's literally the opposite of photosynthesis. So look at that. Glucose plus oxygen goes to form carbon dioxide plus water. That is the reverse of photosynthesis. So if you know photosynthesis, you know aerobic respiration. Even the symbol equation is the opposite as well. So glucose plus oxygen, CO2, H2O, and the balancing is exactly the same. So very straightforward there. Then we've got anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration occurs when you don't have enough oxygen. So this usually happens when you're exercising, you're doing very intense exercising. This form of respiration, it doesn't produce as much energy. Reason why is because the oxidation is incomplete. In muscle cells, you need to know the equation, and in plants and yeast, you need to know the equation. So for aerobic respiration, there's only one equation you need to know, but for anaerobic respiration, there's two equations you need to know. So any animal cell, specifically muscle cells, I put muscle cells in the notes here because that's what it says in the spec. The glucose gets converted into lactic acid. Okay, so the lactic acid is something that builds up in your muscle. You don't want that to build up in your muscle because it makes your muscle contractions less efficient. Yeah, so that's the next section. We're not going to look at that, but that's to do with exercise. I'm just going through respiration right now. So you don't want lactic acid in your muscle, but sometimes you need it because you need to get some like a big burst of energy for, like, if you're sprinting, for example. Plants and yeast cells also respire anaerobically, but they do it slightly different. So don't get confused between these two equations. For plants and yeast, glucose turns into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So two products here, whereas for muscle cells, you only have one product. And that glucose that gets converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide, we can use that whole process for two things. We can use that for bread making, because in bread making, what you need to do is you need to get dough. The dough needs to rise, right? So carbon dioxide that's released, it kind of produces bubbles. That's what causes bread to rise. That's why if you like slice bread, you can see it's like really spongy. The reason it's like that is because carbon dioxide has literally been produced by the yeast that's in there. And then it's also used to make alcoholic drinks like beer and wine, because the ethanol itself is what makes a drink alcoholic. So you can get the glucose from grapes and you can use that to make wine, for example. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Can you do the quiz and win? Did you do the revision? Were you up there? You just joined. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Strawberry cheesecake wants the Kahoot to start. It is going to start. It's going to start. Don't worry. Triple bio. No, you don't need to know about the hepatic portal vein. No. You don't need to know that for your GCSEs, by the way, Candy. So forget that. If you're AQA anyway, you definitely don't need to know that. Yeah, literally. Phil is saying, what is that? And you did a biology A-level Olympiad. So if he's saying that, then that means it must be very hard. If you drink ethanol, you'll be drunk. Yeah, yes. That is what makes a drink alcoholic. All right. Who's ready for the announcement? Who is ready for the announcement? Guys, what I wanted to tell you guys is that I was busy last night. I was busy getting something ready because in Easter we are doing our Easter boot camps, and for a limited time we're going to make it free for people who sign up. So let me give you some information about the Easter boot camps. They're free to sign up for now, not going to be there for long, but you guys who are here on the stream right now get the benefit of this. It's basically me and Nav, so the people who are here usually on the streams teaching. We're going to go through everything, the whole syllabus for GCSE Science. We're talking biology, chemistry, and physics. Okay, so 6 sessions over Easter, so 6 days, full day sessions. Each day is dedicated to one paper. So we have a paper 1 for biology, we have a paper 2 for biology, we have a paper 1 for chemistry, we have a paper 2 for chemistry, and so on. And with this, you're going to get us going through every single syllabus point, specification point. We're going to teach you our memory tricks. It's going to be a session like this where you can talk in the chat, and everything's recorded, and you get revision guides. We've made these revision guides. Some of you guys have these revision guides. Here, I'll show you guys how it looks like. In these revision guides, you'll find the notes, and you'll also get these QR codes with the memory tricks. You can scan them and you can watch the memory tricks. They've got notes, they've got exam questions at the end as well that you can try, and they've got place for you to write down like extra notes and stuff as well. So, like I said, this is free for people who sign up. Just for now, we're not going to make it free for the whole time. So I'm going to give you guys the link now. I say it's worth it for you guys to literally just sign up now because it's literally free now, so you don't lose anything. So all the paper 1s, these are the dates. So right at the start of Easter, we're going to do physics paper 1, then biology paper 1, and chemistry paper 1. So all of that is free. So you guys might as well literally now just sign up to those and you won't lose anything. And then we've got the paper 2s, which for now we're going to give a 50% discount for as well. So the days will look like this. You guys are going to start off at 10 a.m. Not too late, hopefully. 10 a.m. We're going to have first section. We're going to have 2 breaks and 1 lunch break as well. And the day will end at 3:30 p.m. So from 10 to 3:30 p.m., it's going to be us going through a whole paper's worth of content. So I'm going to send you guys this link now. Like I said, if you just want to do the free ones, click on that, and you can book it. And you won't get a confirmation email, but we'll have your email address, so we can just we can send you guys the revision guides. And just before the session starts, we'll send you the links as well. So let me put this in the chat now, and you guys can go onto that, and I'll wait. Here you go, guys. Let me see these things. Is it free for FRL Pro students? Absolutely. Of course it is, Dennis, Philip. You guys are going to get all of this for free. FRL Pro students. Not FRL Pro, sorry. FRL classes students. The ones who are already coming to our Friday and Sunday classes. You guys are going to get all of these free. We're going to send you everything that you need to know for this. So, yeah, don't worry. So, yeah, guys, sign up to that, and we'll give you all the details for that. That was the announcement. I hope it lived up to your expectations. Like I said, it's not going to be free forever. So worth it to just book it, and then you don't need to come if you don't want to, but it'll be worth it. You get a free revision guide out of it as well. So yeah. Right. Let's move on to the final bit, which which is the quiz that everyone's waiting for, the Kahoot quiz. We've got 14 people. I will wait. This one, I don't think has a poll at the start. We're going to get straight into the questions. So once everyone's ready, I'll click start. Let me answer these questions. Malika says, how do we sign up? Can you guys see this? No problem. You're welcome. You're welcome. Lifted your spirits up. You're welcome, Raghav. Screen isn't blurry as well. Perfect. Just in time for the quiz. This is good. I hope to see you guys there at the session, because I feel like I've gotten to know you guys over the last few weeks while doing these quizzes. So if I see you guys at the Easter boot camps, it'll be incredible as well. I feel like we've built like a community of students. It's good to see. It happens every year. We get this group and they start knowing each other as well, start talking to each other, and everyone's just revising. Everyone's just trying to get those grades in science. So yeah, that's great to hear, Malika. All right. How do we confirm you have FR? Phil, don't worry. We know who's got FRL classes, so we're going to automatically send you guys the links to the Easter boot camps. If you guys are already on our subscription, don't worry. We'll sort you guys out. This is just for people who just want to join the Easter boot camps for free, or they want to join the paper 2 boot camps as well. This is just a chance for them to join. But it's all cheaper if you subscribe, by the way, because the subscription is £22. So rather than doing all 3 paper 2s, it's cheaper to subscribe. Okay, cool. Malika says you're failing science. Hopefully not after the boot camps. If you do Edexcel, is it okay? Yes, it's very, very useful, even if you do Edexcel. I would say it's about 70% relevant. I had quite a few Edexcel students come last year, and they still got good grades. And yeah, it's going to be in a different order. Like the paper 1 and paper 2 topics are slightly different, but it's definitely worth it. A lot of overlap. All right, guys, 21 people in the Kahoot, 21 people in the chat as well. Perfect. I'm going to start. Unless anyone says stop right now, I'm going to start. You haven't revised well since mocks. Well, you still got time. You still got time, Candy. 2 months. 2 months is a lot of time, and you've got that Easter break where you can really just cram everything and just catch up, basically. Are you going to do high and fat? Okay, good question. We are going to cover everything, and we're going to let you know what's triple and what's foundation, not foundation, what's triple and what's combined. So during this session, we are going to go through triple content and combined content, and we're going to tell you guys this is a triple only topic. So you combined people don't need this bit. And in the revision guides as well, it tells you what's triple, so what you don't need to know. We're doing our best to tell you exactly what you need to know for your exams. We're covering it all, guys. Great to hear, Malika. That's good to hear. You paid for them all. Oh, nice. Okay, let's go, guys. I think we're good. 25. No one else? No, Ashton, you don't need to sign up. You're good. You're FRO classes member. Don't worry. Let's get started, guys. Good luck. Let's see who gets the prizes this time. Question 1. Let's go. For sciences, high and foundation, Deborah. I'll answer questions after if you guys have any more questions, by the way. Which type of respiration uses oxygen? Let's go. This is a quick one. Spam the button. Wow, look at that. 2 seconds and we had 20 answers. 21 answers. Is it anaerobic, aerobic, fermentation, or lactic acid? Which one's the answer? 5 more seconds. Answer here is aerobic. Malika's trying to throw people off. No, it's not lactic acid. Lactic acid is what is produced from anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic is without respiration. Aerobic is with respiration. Okay, let's see what that does. Do we have any thousands? Do we have any bots? No, we have no bots in this miraculous pigeon. Is that anyone in the chat? Daring salamander, exciting seahorse. Oh, Debashri is not revealing identity. That is Phil's tactic, and it's worked because he's won a few times. Ashton's third place, another previous winner. True or false? Respiration is an endothermic process. True or false? Quick ones. Does it give out energy or does it take in? Does it enter or does it exit? Remember how I showed you to remember that. 3, 2, 1. 22 answers false. The answer is false. It's an exothermic process, guys. Remember, photosynthesis takes in energy. It takes in the light energy. And I said exothermic. And I said respiration is the opposite of photosynthesis. It releases energy. It's exothermic. Let's see what that does to the leaderboard. Do we have any changes here? Miraculous Pigeon is still up there. Exciting Seahorse has jumped to second. Was that you, Ashton? Have you jumped to second? Yes, it was. Maleka's 10th. This is actually helping. That's great to hear. I tell people, even if you're 20th, even if you're 25th, don't worry, you're still gaining something from this. Just by listening to me explain the answers, you're learning something and you're gonna gain something from this. It's not all about the prizes. I know it's nice to win a prize, but you're getting something more important here. Better GCSE grades. Okay, next question. Deborah is 8th, and K-pop Stan is Glorious Okra. Okay, let's go. 3 of 13. 13 questions. Where does aerobic respiration occur? I told you guys this, remember? In the nucleus, in the cytoplasm, in the ribosome, or in the mitochondria? Which one do you guys think it is? Eliza says ribosome. Is she trying to throw you off like Maleka, or is she trying to help you? That is the question. Ashton got a misclick. That means second place is up for grabs. We got 4 people saying cytoplasm. Good thinking, because in the cytoplasm, it is technically reactions that occur, but not aerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration happens in the cytoplasm. Aerobic respiration happens in the mitochondria. Phil says no. Eliza says dialysis. What? No nucleus. Miraculous Pigeon is still up there going strong, but Daring Salamander is closely behind, only 30 behind, and Soaring Condor has jumped up as well. Ashton has fallen several places here. No one's getting fooled. Yeah, the smart thing is not to listen to the chat. By the time you've seen the chat, to be honest, most people have answered. So just go with your instincts. Okay, next one. 4 of 13. Pin the answer, move the pin to the correct part. Which of these graphs represents how temperature affects the rate of photosynthesis? Remember, I showed you guys. There's 2 graphs here. And they were for light intensity. They were for temperature. And they were for CO2 concentration. And I showed you, I said one of them's different. Think about the limiting factors. 22 of you have answered it. How do people click so fast? I know. You know what? In the very first one we did back in January, we didn't get so many fast people. People have been practicing. They've been coming every week or twice a week, and they've just worked out like a tactic to do as fast as they can. And that's how they've been winning. Yes, 17 of you have got it right. Remember, it's a graph that looks like the enzyme graph. If you're on your phone, you can do it faster. Is that true? What do you guys think? Those of you who have won before in the past or got second place, is it faster on the phone? What is the fastest way to do this? Or do you just not? You don't want to tell people because you want to carry on winning. Let's see if anyone wants to spread the info. Ashton. Okay. Phil says it's fast on PC. Phil's won it a few times. Same with Ashton. He does it on an iPad. Ashton thinks it's faster on a touch screen. Reaction time practical. Yeah, this is kind of like a reaction time practical. Some people get 1,000 in some questions. If it's a true and false question, you can get 1,000 because the true is always on the left-hand side and the false is always on the right-hand side. So you read the question and then you start spamming that side of the screen. Top tip there. Easier to misclick. Yes, that is the downside. So you saw it there with Ashton. He misclicked and now he's dropped down. So yeah. Let's go. You want to go sleep? Okay. 5 of 13. Type this. What is produced in muscle cells during anaerobic respiration? Only one answer. You need to spell this correctly, guys. You need to spell this correctly. I'm only going to accept one answer here. In muscle cells, it's one thing. It's 2 words. Not CO2. You wrote CO2. Ashton put an answer. How is my spelling atrocious? Well, the good thing in the exam, if you misspell something, you'll still get the mark, as long as it sounds like what you're trying to say. You said energy, you misread it. Unlucky. Not hydrochloric acid. Good try there, Malika. Let's see how many people got it here. The answer is lactic acid. Wow. Okay, nice. 22 of you spelt it right. No mistakes. Usually you get other people spelling it wrong. But yeah, that's good. Eliza again trolling. We got Genius Bison who's jumped up third. Oh my god, the wind is like blowing really hard. Okay, how many questions will there be? We are about halfway. 6 of 13. True or false? Remember what I told you about the technique. Anaerobic respiration is less efficient than aerobic. Look at that. 16 of you within 1 second. You guys have got the technique right. More multi-select. Oh, yeah, Phil, you say that, don't you? Yes, we will try to add more multi-select. Those are good questions. Unlucky, man. Misclicked. Can you hear the wind? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like, I'm worried. I'm going to just like, yeah, run away soon. 20. Got that right. It is less efficient. Aerobic is the more efficient one. It's complete oxidation, whereas anaerobic is incomplete respiration. Your attic door is dislodged because of that wind. Oof. You got 1,000 points, Devashri. Yes. Did you follow my technique? Smashed it. 1,000 points. Funky Koala. Was that you? 1,000 as well, Ashton. Yes, you guys know the technique now for true or false questions. We need to reduce those questions. It's too easy. I'm going to try and put 1 in from now on. Okay, next question. Let's go. 7 of 13. True or false again. Respiration only occurs in animals. True or false? Spam those answers. A bit slower this time. The spam didn't work. Oof. Method doesn't work. Interesting. There we go. It's a false. Respiration happens in all living organisms. If you guys remember, was it Mrs. Gren or the life processes? That's not something you need to know for GCSEs. That's like a key stage 3 thing, but respiration is one of them. It happens in all living organisms. Royal Orca is jumped up to 4th, has jumped up to 4th. What's your opinion on Medley? I have not used Medley, actually. I've seen all these ads on it. So there's a lot of money being spent on ads there, but I don't know. I've never used it. So I don't know if it's any good or not. Okay. Oh, yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they? I'm seeing them all over the place. They're going hard with the ads. Chat GPT all the way, says Malika. Yeah, to be fair, it's free, isn't it? It is free. So is Flash Vision Lab. Which organ clears lactic acid? Oh, does anyone know this? Lactic acid. How does lactic acid get removed from the muscles? It goes somewhere. Ashton says FRO AI tutor all the way. Yes, that's what I like to hear. Raghav says, trust me, it's the brain. It's the liver, guys. 17 of you. I'm impressed that you guys got that. That's good. Not the lungs, not the kidneys, not the heart. At least no one said the heart. That's good. Is it too late to join FRL classes? No, not at all. Because if you join FRL classes, you will get the classes and you'll get access to all the boot camps as well included. So if you join it now, let me see, you get a month. For a month, you'll get all the boot camps because you get 1 month of the subscription. So not too late. And then after that, we'll probably do the cram classes. Those are the ones that we do just before the exams, like literally the day before the exams. We do have those classes as well. But we haven't planned that yet. We're not even sure if we're going to do that. What do you guys think? Do you think we should do that the day before the exam? Do a live stream the day before the exams? We've done that in the past before. People like that. But we're not sure. We're not sure whether we want to do it this year. Yes. Maybe weekend. Well, we do have live streams on the weekend on Sundays and Fridays, Candy. Yes, everyone's saying yes. Okay. We'll see. I will try to. Yeah, I will try to. I'll try to. Let's see. Let's go on to the next one. What number are we on now? We are on 9 of 13. 4 more questions. Where does photosynthesis occur in plants? Quick answers there. In the roots, in chloroplasts, in the leaves, or in the flowers? What do we think? 11 more seconds. We've got people. 20 people have answered. Oh, Deborah says weekend before rather than the night before. Interesting. The thing is, when it comes to the GCSEs, you guys are going to realize you've got so many different exams to revise for. You're not going to have time to like revise for something like a few days before, unless you have a gap, because you're always going to be revising for the next exam. So doing it the weekend before, I don't know if that will be as effective, but let's see. Let me see how the schedule is, how the GCSE timetable looks like, and see what the best way to do it is. And yeah, we'll keep you guys updated. The answer here is in the chloroplasts. What? The answer here is chloroplasts. That's where photosynthesis occurs. Yeah. Average by a win. Physics and maths on the same day. Is it actually? I did see that. That might be good news because you're getting all those calculations out of the way. Next question. Slider, guys. Slide to the correct number here. What's the missing number in glucose? Look at this diagram. What's that missing number? I told you guys the formula for glucose. Slide to the correct number. How many hydrogens are there in a glucose molecule? Malika says, I'm failing my mocks. Hopefully you don't fail your actual exams, your actual GCSEs. 22nd place. Okay, just keep going. We're nearly there. We're nearly at the end. 12 people got that right. The formula for glucose is C6H12O6. You do need to memorize that, guys. It's part of that equation. Miraculous Pigeon has not come down at all. They've been up there from the beginning. So whoever that is has been smashing it. 10 correct answers in a row. Well done. Let's see whether they lose that spot. We have seen that. We've seen someone at the top for the whole thing. And then I think it was 1 or 2 questions before the end. They misclicked and they just dropped way, way down. So let's see if that happens. Someone lagged. Unlucky. Does that sometimes, doesn't it? Malika says, you're Miraculous Pigeon. No, you're not, because you just said you're 22nd. I don't think you are. I mean, yeah, let's see. Are you? And also, you're typing so much. How do you have time to type so much? Okay, let's go. Next question. 11 of 13. What type of reaction is photosynthesis out of this list? Is it combustion? Is it catalytic? Is it endothermic? Is it exothermic? We went through this like 5 minutes ago in another question. Nearly done, guys. 2 more questions. And that will be it. And I'll answer some questions if you guys have any. Further maths. Impressive if you guys do further maths. It's quite tricky. It's useful for A-level maths if you do further maths. Endothermic, yes, not exothermic. Remember, exothermic is respiration that releases energy. It exits. Endothermic energy enters, begins with EN. Then it says we need harder questions for more competition. We'll do harder topics soon. This is quite an easy topic, I think. We'll do some harder topics and we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Miraculous Pigeon still up there, and Daring Salamander is second. They've been up there for quite a while. Let's see if they can do that in the last two questions. What do plants create from glucose and nitrate ions? Ooh, how or what gets formed when you get glucose and nitrate ions joining together? Does anyone know that? Is it cellulose, starch, fats and oils, or amino acids? We've got a few answers. Are these people telling the truth or are they trolling? We've got someone saying, we've got Ashton saying amino acids. We've got Eliza saying cellulose. And then someone else saying amino. The answer was amino acids, guys. Remember this. Now, hopefully you'll never forget this. When it comes up in your exams, you'll remember this. Amino acids are formed by joining glucose and nitrate ions. It's all there on our website. Go and take a look at the notes after this if you guys aren't sure on anything. It's all up there. Honesty will bring you forward in life, says Ashton. I like that. I like that. Is it possible to learn all the topics in science for 6 weeks? 100%, 100% you can learn it all in 6 weeks. You can learn it in 2 weeks of Easter if you really want as well. But you need to focus and you need to sit down and you need to revise properly. You can't procrastinate if you're leaving it that late. You can learn it now. You can start now and you will definitely be ready for your exams if you stay on top of your revision. If you start like just messing around and like not revising as hard, if you don't focus enough, then it's going to be tricky. But you really need to change your like revision habits if you want to see a change. If you guys aren't doing well in science right now, there's still time to catch up, but you need to do something about it now. So yeah, I do suggest come to the boot camps. At least come to the free ones, because I am literally going through everything. You will 100% learn something from that, and you got nothing to lose. They're free as well, so definitely do that. They're a whole day session, so just clear your day. It's going to be very intense. I'm going to go through every spec point, but you're not losing anything. So remember, guys, let me put that in the chat one more time, so you guys got the link. It's free to sign up. If you do that now, then we will send you like the link for that. But it's not going to be free forever. But I'm just rewarding you guys for coming to our stream every like twice a week. So we want to give something back to you guys. All right, last one. Is making flashcards reliable? Yes, it can be. It can be, definitely. You can copy the flashcards from our website if you want as well. Final question. Let's see if Miraculous Pigeon and Daring Salamander are going to win, or can Genius Bison sneak in there and get an Amazon voucher. Remember, guys, if you are the top 2, take a screenshot of your character and a screenshot of you participating in the chat, and then email us at help@flashrevisionlab.com with the screenshots, and we'll send your Amazon voucher across. Ashton, you don't need to sign up for boot camps. We're going to send you everything. If you're part of FRL classes, if you've got the subscription, you don't need to sign up. We'll send you everything. You guys get everything. Okay, final one. Raghav thinks the answer for the next one is convergent plate boundary. Let's see. It might be. Is that geography? Not sure. True or false? Easy. Photosynthesis produces carbon dioxide. Don't get caught out. It says produces. Does it produce carbon dioxide, or does it use carbon dioxide? Think about that. Next answer is geostationary satellite. Ooh, a bit of physics in there. You don't need to know that for your GCSEs. That's an A-level thing, geostationary satellites, or another exam board. Answer here is false. 15 of you got that right. Doesn't produce carbon dioxide. It uses carbon dioxide. Guys, well done. Let's see who's on the podium. You guys are going to get, well, the top two are going to get the prizes. Genius Bison stays third, which means we got the same top two, Daring Salamander and someone who did not drop once is Miraculous Pigeon. That's awesome. Well done, you guys. So remember, send me your screenshots and we'll send out those vouchers. So guys, we've got the link here. I'll put it up one more time for those of you who want to join the free boot camps. Do it now. I suggest you guys do it now. At least you've got that there just in case you do want to join last minute. It's there. It's for free. At least we've got your email address and we can send that to you. And yeah, we'll be back on Friday so that's tomorrow. For those of you on FRL classes, we're going through what we're doing. It's chemistry tomorrow. I've forgotten what we're doing. Chromatography? No, not chromatography. We did that last week, I think. I don't remember. Might be chromatography. For those of you who aren't FRL classes, we're going to be here on Sunday. Nav's going to go through, do the same thing, exact same thing, a quiz and a revision session on a topic in physics. And yeah, keep on revising, guys. It's only a few weeks left till exams. Let's see. Oh, Ashton says it's atmosphere. That's what we're learning. That's what we're learning on Friday, tomorrow. The atmosphere. Thank you. All right, guys. Do I do these for English? No, I don't. Unfortunately, we don't teach English. It's just science for now. We do teach maths, but we don't do FRO is not for maths right now. We need to, if we did want to teach maths, then we would need to do a few things. We need to make notes for it and stuff, which isn't a quick thing. But yeah, something we might do in the future. Any other questions before I shoot off, guys? When is the next live stream like this? So people who haven't signed up, so if you're not part of FRL classes, the next live stream like this, the free one is on Sunday at 7:45. If you want to do another quiz like this and do another revision session, okay? Sunday at 7:45. Is there most effective revision technique? For me, it was to make notes, guys. Honestly, don't just read a textbook. Don't just read notes. Don't just watch videos. Be active with your revision. Write stuff down. So as you're watching a video, or as you're reading notes, write key points down, rewind it, and make sure you have a good set of notes. You still have time to make your notes, because when you write something down, you keep so much more of that content in your head. If you're just watching something, you're more likely to forget it. Do I do OCR maths? No, we don't. We don't teach maths right now on FRL. No, we don't. Are there any more rounds? No, the Kahoot's done for today. That's it. What's the topic for Sunday? Something in physics. Look out on our story on TikTok or on YouTube, and we'll put what topic it is. Doesn't really matter because we're going to go through that topic anyway. We're just going to tell you the topic and we're going to go through it. So yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for participating, and hope that was useful to you guys. We'll see you on Friday/Sunday. Have a good evening. Bye.